All right, great. Hey, thank you all for joining us tonight. We're really excited to be hosting this training on how to launch your health coaching business in 2015. And I'm really excited to introduce to you myself. I'm Sean Cody, and this is my wife Megan, and we are regional directors with Take Shape for Life, and I'm very excited for all of the new coaches who are here on the line tonight. And we'll introduce two members of your support team. Very excited to have Paula Holt. She's a national director, and very excited right now. She's on cloud nine because she just became a grandma just a couple months ago. And also with us is Tiana, and she's the mommy that goes with Paula being the new grandma. So Tiana is another regional director with Take Shape for Life, and both good friends of ours. So they're here to join us and help lead this training.
Awesome. Well, Sean, thank you guys for organizing this training tonight. It's like perfect timing with the new year starting. We've all been where the new coaches are, just getting started and building your business. And wow, what a perfect time of the year to be starting. What a perfect season of life to be starting, because people need us desperately. And I think if that's the main message we walk away with tonight, is realizing what we have in our hand, the gift that we've been given, and our opportunity to share that is very powerful. But sometimes we actually kind of forget how awesome it is and what people are looking for. So I really want some interactive activity tonight, and I know that Sean and Megan, as well as Tiana, will all be kind of going back and forth, and we want it just to be a really comfortable, casual environment. But please either send a chat message if you want to ask a question, or write it down so that at the end we can answer some questions, because that's what we're here for. I mean, we all grow together, and we sharpen each other, and we get ideas, and we brainstorm, and that's what makes our support team so powerful. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, it might not be possible for everyone, but anyone who can get their video up on the screen just so we can have this close-knit interaction, that'd be really awesome. We'd love to do that, because we're going to be asking for people to give their input. And guys, this is a small group of people who are around senior coach, or maybe a little bit more than that. So, feel comfortable to chime in. We might have a few other business leaders hopping on too, but we just want everyone to feel super comfortable to talk.
Yeah. Awesome. So really, we want to start tonight, and I actually will put it up there so we can see all of your faces. But I wanted to share with you just a little bit about your story, and that's the starting place, and that's the powerful place that we're all coming from, that place of authenticity, of why are you a health coach? What has Take Shape Life for Life done for you? I mean, and it has to be real. We have to be enthusiastic about it, but yet at the same time keeping it concise and relevant. Remember, we're conveying our story in the way that is going to inspire the person that we're talking to. So it's really important that we kind of, when we start to talk about our story, is, okay, what was life like before I found this program? And for some of you, it may be weight loss. For others, it may have been low energy. For some, even like Megan and Sean, who came from a life of very healthy living, for them it was not only tools, but it was also an ability to help others have something that maybe they had grown up understanding, but the rest of the world, or very few people, have. So when we start with our story, which is sometimes people feel a little bit awkward sharing it at first, but I want you to know that this is a really safe environment, and we want to grow together. So we're going to ask a little bit of boldness tonight and say, hey, who wants to unmute and just kind of share with us your story? 30 to 60 seconds. It's that some people call it an elevator speech, or it's what's different about you and what has changed. So is there anyone who wants to unmute and come off and talk with us a little bit? Okay, don't all be shy now. Okay, I'm going to stop the share so we can see everyone. Okay, there we go. Okay, gallery, there we go. Okay, someone tell us your story.
Okay, I'll do it, Paula.
Great, Becca. Thank you. So you're coming up to me, and I'm one of your coworkers. So let's go.
Hey, how's it going? How's the new year going?
Oh, it's going great. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. You look amazing.
You know, I feel amazing. I definitely feel amazing. And the expression I use is I've got my Becca back, because I've always felt good about myself. And then all of a sudden one day I realized I didn't. And I had to try and figure out a way to get Becca back.
Wow, you look like you've lost weight and everything.
I did. I actually lost about 45 pounds. And though you said you hadn't seen me for a while, I've kept it off for quite a bit. And it was one of the easiest things I've ever done. Once I made the decision to lose my weight, it was just something that I wanted to do. And I stuck with the decision I made. And what you see is what you get.
Perfect, Becca. That was wonderful. You guys see that was like 30 or 45 seconds, but I'm listening to her. Remember, I'm listening because I don't really care what happened to Becca, even though I'm happy for her. I'm listening because I'm wondering, could that work for me? Is that even a possibility? And she's saying it was easy. She's saying she's kept it off. And so, I mean, I'm hearing all that stuff as somebody going, wow, I've tried lots of diets, and I can see that, okay. And guess what? I'm probably going to be asking her more questions either then or over the next day or two, because all that's going to be going around in my mind. So, right? Sometimes when we tell our story, we're thinking, well, they didn't ask more, but we don't know what's going on in their mind. And maybe they're afraid, or maybe they're just thinking. And we just want to keep opening that door. Okay, someone else. Nancy, why don't you come and unmute? You're awesome. You can tell us your story. I love your story.
All right. Well, let me know if I sometimes tend to ramble. But so my story is about 2 months ago, I decided to start my health journey, and I started it with the health challenge. And once I started, it was just amazing because I met a lot of people who had the same goals that I did, which is just to create healthy habits and to create health in life. And so from that, I just created my vision of what I wanted to do. And I started the program, and it's just been great because I feel like I have so much more energy now. I feel so great about life, and I just want to give that to other people. So, yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it was very real. It was very personal. It was about energy and wanting to share it forward. Okay. So someone else. Or let me ask you this. Maybe Tiana, would you pop on and would you tell Nancy's story for her? Because sometimes we forget how cool our story is because we say it and we've heard it. But when someone else tells our story back to us, we're like, yeah, it is pretty cool.
Sure. Nancy, can I ask you a couple questions first, just so I can
absolutely.
You started the program after the health challenge or during the health challenge? Okay, so how many pounds have you lost so far?
About 15 pounds.
Awesome. And how many weeks on the program has it been?
It's been a little bit on and off, so I definitely struggled during the holiday season.
Yeah.
But in total, it's been about 5 weeks now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So this is how I would tell your story if somebody was just asking me. I'd say, okay, well, can I tell you how cool it was? About 2 months ago, I actually started this health challenge. Oh, I guess it was in September, right? So it was longer than 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So in September, this past fall, I started this health challenge, and I decided I really wanted to take my health back and just really refocus. And I really got so many great habits and healthy tools just in my toolbox. And I decided to start this program that my friend was coaching, and who's now my health coach. And I've actually lost 15 pounds in only 5 weeks. It's amazing. I feel so good. And I'm so excited that I'm actually starting to help my friends get healthy and have that same kind of breakthrough and learn those healthy habits too. Because it's just been so joyful being able to learn it for myself. I just couldn't help but share with everybody. So that's kind of how I tell it, just because especially as you start coaching other clients, we know how awesome our program is and how much we lose. And we start to realize, nobody else gets to lose weight the way we do. And everybody else is so afraid of transition. But we we forget that losing that many pounds every week is amazing. And even though you were kind of, struggling with the holidays, you still lost 15 pounds in the last 5 weeks. So I would even emphasize that through the holidays, I lost 15 pounds. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right?
You're welcome.
Because Nancy, if you were in a group of 100 people, you were probably one of the 5 that didn't gain 7 pounds, right? And so people stand up and take notice. Yeah, you've come through a very tough time. So really your story is about being relevant. Remember that emotional part of your story. Sometimes, and you guys did great who were telling the story tonight, Becca and Nancy both, you didn't get caught up in the weeds, because sometimes we can start to tell a story and go, well, I met this person and they knew this person and we were out to lunch, and okay, you got to stop all that. Just go, it's kind of like what Taina was reiterating the story. It's the coolest thing. I decided I was ready to get healthy, and for whatever reason was you can tell your pivotal moment. Maybe I saw a number on the scale that I hadn't ever seen before, or I realized I had, had no energy and I was exhausted all the time. I was just done. Maybe you're talking to a young mommy who has a little toddler on their hip, and you're saying, you know what, how you get so tired and you can't get enough sleep and you can't figure out how to get off that last 20 pounds. Yeah, that was me. And oh my gosh, it's so incredible. I have better energy than I've had in years, and I feel so great. I just never want to go back to the way I was. And so when I'm telling my story, I kind of pay attention to the person I'm sharing with. If I'm talking with somebody who's my age, I might talk about, how as we get older, we gain, how you gain 2 or 3 pounds a year, and you fast forward 10 years and there's 20 and 30 pounds and you're like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Yeah, that was me. And I've actually, not only did I lose 30 pounds, but I've learned healthy habits and I'm helping other people do the same. It's so fun, just kind of trying to be where they are. So tell your story in the way that will touch whoever you're talking to. Obviously it's your story. You can't alter that, but at the same time, you want to point out the things that are important to them. Do we have time, Megan and Sean, for one more story?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if actually I could share mine, because I know we have some other coaches on that don't have weight loss stories. So
Please.
may I?
Yes.
Okay. So if I were to share my story, because I have a little bit of a different background, what I would say to someone who's interested or someone I've been talking with is, it's the coolest thing. I've started health coaching, and I grew up in a family very healthy, and I, didn't have any weight to lose when I came to our health coaching community, but I felt like I finally had a tool to share with people where they could actually get healthy, actually see results, and feel amazing. Beforehand, I could share like a tidbit here and there, and friends and family would approach me, and I really didn't have anything to help them with. But now I feel like I have this amazing resource and tool and system where I can just walk alongside of people and help them. And the coolest thing is, at first I thought I was just going to be helping people lose weight. But what I found is we're creating habits and a lifestyle change for people and getting their mental health in check. And then when all that comes together, just there's so much balance in life. And that would be my story that I share with people often. And yeah, no weight loss story, but that's okay.
And you know what, Megan, I love the fact that you speak that with confidence, that there isn't, but yet it's the healthy habits and the extra besides the weight loss that's so strong for you. Because even someone who's looking at you who needs to lose 20 or 30 or 50 pounds, we all know what happens after we reach that goal, right? There's nothing else. And so into a typical diet. And so because we're so untypical, we are so different. I think that I loved that you were talking about that, about teaching and walking alongside people, because then they realize, okay, we just really are a health program that happens to have a weight loss component, right? Megan and Sean just started at step 2 because they didn't have that first step. The rest of us maybe started at step 1 and we go through all 6. Some people start at step 2. They're already at a healthy weight. But there's plenty of other things to learn. So just the main thing when we're talking about our story, and I will get back to my screen's share. Can you guys see the screen? Okay, maybe. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, we'll go back to the slide And you guys tell me if you can see this. There we go. Can you see the screen? There we go. Okay. So the main thing is that we want our story to be real and we're reaching people, and don't ever become weary of telling it. If there's a point where you feel like it doesn't sound very exciting, go back to the way you felt when you heard about it, or 2 weeks on to program when you realized, oh my gosh, for once this is going to work for me, right? And I have something in my hand that's different. That's what you're reminding yourself of, because the person you're sharing with, you may be that one hope that they have been saying, okay, I just wish I knew what to do. I'm desperate. I've tried everything. We have several clients in our organization that were ready to do something drastic, gastric bypass or other surgeries. And someone spoke to them about this and they're like, oh, wow, there's another option. I honestly, they didn't always know that there were choices. So here, so just remember where you were when you started program and how you felt, right? And then I want to turn it to Sean is doing this portion, I believe, on sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the best tools that we have to share is making the connection calls. And that begins with making your list. And this is always the best place to start, is really to get out a piece of paper and a pen and write these down, and think of the top 20 people who you think might benefit from Take Shape for Life, whether it's being on program or the coaching opportunity. And usually people don't have a hard time coming up with the first 5, 10 people that they know they want to get healthy. It's often close family members or friends. But if you need to look for more ideas for where to find those people who you might want to share with, think about the groups and communities that you're a part of. Think about high school friends or college friends, coworkers, people on sports teams that you're on. Just think about the different communities that you're on as you're putting together your list, and you'll find that it will often exceed 20 and begin to reach 100. But let's start with 20 to begin making connection calls. And the connection call is really a time for you to share your story with those people that you're connecting with. So I really like Nancy's story. So as I kind of go through this, I'll kind of share that again. As you begin to make your connection call, say, hey, do you have time do you have a few minutes for me to share something exciting with you? And hopefully they'll say yes, and then you can share. Well, a few months ago, I was introduced to my health coach. And at that time, I was thinking to myself that I really wanted to lose weight and begin to live a healthier life. And I began to work with her. And since then, I've lost 15 pounds. I've got such more energy than I had, and it's really given me a whole new outlook on life. And I've decided that because of the great experience that I have, that I want to share that same gift with other people. So can I ask you, do you know anyone who would benefit from having a health coach like that? And I bet most people are going to be saying, yeah, definitely. And you might even hear them say, yeah, me, I'd like to hear more about that. And after that part of the conversation, just ask if you can share more. You can share with them that, well, really the most important part is I'm working with a health coach, eating 5 to 6 times a day and drinking lots of water. Keep it very simple. You don't need to mention Take Shape for Life, but use it as a time just to briefly touch on those key parts of program. And then if they're interested in hearing more, or they know someone who would like to hear more about that, just ask if you can set up a time soon to talk. Really, the hope is that we can keep this to less than 5 minutes. You can make as many connection calls as you can in a short amount of time, and then set up follow-up 3-way calls with your business coach. And a 3-way call is a chance for you and your coach to work together to share a program with those people who are interested. And that's really an opportunity for you to learn how to share. And really get some assistance from your support team in doing that. We don't start this and send you out on your own to do all the help. When we say that the four of us are on your support team, we really mean it, and we're here to help you all along the way. So that's what I have, and I think I'll hand it back over to Paula now. Thank you, Paula.
Sean, that was so amazing. And what I loved, even just you were just explaining it. There wasn't a whole lot of fanfare. It's just so matter of fact, right? Because we have something to share, and we're making the calls. We're looking for somebody with the hand up, right? Not everyone's ready right now, but we're planting that seed. And so guess what? You are going to get some people who say, yeah, I am looking for something. You're going to have some say, well, my mom is actually looking, thinking about doing a diet. Or you'll have some people who actually say, no, I don't think of anyone. And then we have a great video that Sean and Megan can put up on the website too. It's about a 5-minute just instructional, because when they say, no, I can't think of anyone, we say, not a problem at all. When if someone comes to mind, would I be able to send an email to you? And when you're reading it, if someone comes to mind that maybe is struggling with need of weight loss or low energy, or would you mind forwarding my information to them? And they're always going to say, sure. Okay, what's your email address? So we write down their email address. We start creating a little connections group, and we're going to follow up an email with them, thanking them for the call and telling them a little bit about what we do, about what Sean said verbally, and maybe attaching a before and after photo. And guess what? A lot of those people who said no, they really were just curious, and so they're waiting for your email to come because they want to know what it says. They kind of want to know a little more. And your email is just going to be talking about how excited you are to walk beside people and encourage them toward health, and that we're about a lifestyle change. If someone's interested, please contact me. And you're going to have a couple of inspirational stories. So it's pretty powerful, and I love that. But it's the starting place. So we start with our story, because if we don't have our story down, we get a little clumsy when we pick up that phone call, but we want it to be really comfortable. Hey, Sean, it's been so while since we talked. How are you? How was Christmas? Hey, the reason for my call is this going to be really quick, but I don't know if you know this or not, but I've lost 30 pounds in the last, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I don't care. And they're going to go, oh, wow, yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I'm calling. I'm just getting the word out. I'm actually helping people now. I am a health coach, and I'm helping people. You go on with your story. I don't have to repeat it because Sean did a great job. But you're just letting them know you're pretty excited about what's changed in you. You get to tell your story, and then you get to ask that question. So thank you so much. And I believe, Megan, would you share with us on this section, please? You're doing the baby pass.
We're just doing the toddler toss. Okay. I would love to share. Thank you, Paul. So one of the things that we wanted to talk a little bit about tonight was just branding yourself. First, what's most important is your story. Number 2 is having that list and reaching out to people. What's your next step? We'll connect with your business coach, of course, about what specifically will work really well for you. But what we found works really well is, branding yourself on Facebook. If you have a big Facebook following, or even starting to add some old friends and tapping into that old high school group, that old college group, make sure that you're, a part of that, and start adding those old friends into your life. And so just a couple things we want to talk on is current seasonal opportunities. I don't know if you guys know this, but more than 90% of Americans are thinking about their New Year's resolution, or are, starting to think about, already, as sad as this is, about how they're not hitting them a weekend. So, and most of them have to do with health. So this is a time of year where people are looking for help. And guys, they're either going to be turning to diets, or they're going to maybe find out about Take Shape for Life if you're sharing boldly and reaching out to people and putting yourself out there on social media. And we want them to choose Take Shape for Life, because we know that it will cause total transformation in their life, and not just one-time weight loss and then gaining it back. So just wanted to plant that seed that right now is an amazing time to start coaching. If you're wanting to help people, run with your business coach, because now is the time. But with social media with Facebook, which is what we use and leverage a lot in our organization. There are other tools such as Instagram and stuff like that, and connect with your business coach about what's best for you. But with Facebook, what I've seen works really well is after you've gotten a client or two, after you've done those connection calls and you're confident, is doing a launch. And what that looks like is, you're either sharing your before and after picture in your story, or like I did, do a not professional, just a nice picture, either of you in your workout clothes or looking cute. And because people are drawn to pictures, that's why, and then they'll read it. And just say, hey, in the first line, I've decided to become a health coach recently. I'm so excited to, pay the gift of health forward, explaining a little bit of why you're coaching and just what it means to you. Do you know anyone looking to get off prescription medications, to overcome diseases, to lose weight? If so, I would love to walk alongside of them. Please private message me or forward my information to them. So do that launch, and then maybe talk with your business coach about doing 30 days of hope. And that's just where you take a before and after each day, and you can either share the whole story, and we have all these available, or you can short clip it and then a call of action at the end saying, hey, who do you know looking for help? I would love to walk alongside of them. And normally on my first day launch, where I'm sharing that I became a health coach, I like to also add in there that I'm going to be doing 30 days of hope. So to look forward to that, so people know it's coming. But the thing is, guys, with branding yourself, it's just consistency. That is the key thing. You can post once or twice before and after. People aren't going to bite. Some people need it for the 25th time on day 25 before they finally reach out to you, or maybe they're following you for a year. Like Sean and I have been coaching for a year. They're following for you for a year, and then they finally reach out to you. And we don't want to be walking billboards. That's the only thing we post about. My recommendation, if you heavily use Facebook, then go ahead and let's do 3 other posts a day unrelated to health coaching. If it's new to you, let's try to integrate in at least 1 or 2 other posts a day. And that can be a simple, inspiring quote, or maybe a photo of your family, something like that. Keep it super easy. But we just want to share that with your whole community of people that you otherwise might not talk with on a day-to-day basis.
I love that, Megan. That was so well explained, and you're right. Pictures paint 1,000 words, right? And people are not on Facebook all the time. So you may feel like you're posting a lot, but they may only come on once a week. And so if you only posted once a week, what's the chances of people seeing it? So it's real important that we be consistent. So yeah, you and Sean are great models. And if I can just say this also, as health coaches, we always want everyone to share our stuff. So if you see anything that anyone posted, it's all for grabs. Grab it, take those stories. You may tweak something because if it needs to, as far as the words, if it says my best friend or my mom or what have you, you just change it to be called them their name, but it's perfect. And so your business coach can certainly help you with that. And Tiana, would you share with us about, come on and talk with us about daily actions? What's that look like? Because those who are on this call tonight our one goal is to reach senior coach, and that's the focus. Not a lot of other things. We want 5 clients. We want to reach that goal. And what does that look like?
Pardon the baby hiccups here, but really with the daily actions, I think that really helped me the first month. Getting to senior coach was just jumping all in a lot of ways. And so some of the things I want to talk about here are the 5 daily touches. Tia would talk to me about pennies in the pocket. So when she first started, she was not as bold in talking to new people as she is now. And so her coach encouraged her, and she encouraged me to do the same thing. Since I was a little bit more introverted, was to literally put 5 pennies in one pocket, go to the mall, or go where the people are, go to Walmart or Costco or the grocery store, and talk to 5 people. So if you're introverted and you're feeling comfortable about just talking to people, this is a great way to start. Literally just to say hi, start a conversation, have a 3-sentence volley. It doesn't have to be a huge spiel. And then as you get a little bit more comfortable with that, it doesn't have to feel extremely comfortable, but then start doing it with intentionally talking about what you're doing. So with people that I don't know and that aren't like my friends that I'm meeting up, I try to be extremely intentional when they ask like the checker at the grocery store, hey, how's your day? Oh, such a great day. I was just talking to a client this morning who's down 30 pounds. It's been so fun. She's already, fitting into new jeans. Do you see how they asked me about my day, but I got to tell them a little bit about what I do without actually saying it? So little droppings almost of kind of what you're doing or how exciting life is, or, oh, so cool, I got to go and buy new pants because I'm down 15 pounds. Through the holidays, I started before Christmas, and I'm feeling so good about myself. So you're able to drop a little bit about health without it being directed at them specifically, because you're just celebrating, So that's a great thing to do. Also, when you are at home or having your call times, maybe you've gone through your share list and you'd like to connect with somebody and share a little bit about what you're doing, but you aren't exactly sure how. Another way to do it, maybe after you've gone through your connections list, is to call up old friends and just reconnect. Chat for 15 or 20 minutes, just catch it up on life. When they ask you about you, because they're going to, share what you're doing with health coaching, a little bit here and a little bit there, and try to intentionally drop the subject in a couple of times throughout the conversation. The way that this feels comfortable and not salesy is when you change the subject right afterwards. So if Megan and I were catching up and she asked about what I'm doing, because I already asked her about life, I would tell her, oh, it's so cool. I've been actually health coaching now for 3 years, and I'm really loving it. It's been such a great fit now that I have Evelyn, so I can work a few hours from home and really make some good income, but also I just love being able to help my clients. It's been so great to have, adult conversations during that time. Tell me again what's up with Owen. Tell me how he's, so I see how I changed the subject so that they can ask more, but they don't feel like they got stuck. They didn't ask a question and they're like, oh shoot, we're never gonna not talk about this. So that it's very comfortable. And if you feel like that might just be a good formula for when you're out and about at a coffee date or at church with some people. It's really a great way to bring it up, be bold about bringing it up, be passionate about bringing it up, and then change the subject so that they have the option of asking more about it, or maybe they'll just be thinking about it later, but it's not going to leave any bitter taste in anybody's mouth. So that's the best part. Some conversation starters, I guess we sort of already chatted about that, but it's really all about being intentional. Being intentional with wherever you're at. And sometimes I think from the looks of this group, we don't have too many people at home with children, but if you do get stuck at home, like a sick day, like maybe you've got the flu, maybe just be intentional about Facebook messaging a few people that have been on your heart of like, hey, how are you? I've been thinking about you, or I was praying for you today, or, whatever it is would be comfortable for you to say with your beliefs, but just something along those lines, so that even when you aren't you're 100%, you're still just touching 5 people a day. It's always on my to-do list. Like, who have I seen today? Who have I followed up with today? Who am I touching today? Like, there's always 5 people, and just creating that automatic lifestyle of reaching out and pouring into people and connecting with them. But as far as conversation starters, Paula, could you chat just for 2 seconds on that? I know we're getting short on time, but I think you've got some really good experience in starting some conversations with people.
Yeah, and you know how we learn the most is by our own mistakes, right? I can remember being in large groups after I first started coaching and not saying a word. And I would go home and I would beat myself up and I would think, oh, I could have said that then. But where I found my biggest area of growth was I actually thought of a few phrases ahead of time. I would think, okay, I know the type of people who are going to be here, or these friends, or these church members, or what have you. Here's some subjects that I can bring up. And so if you're going back into work after the weekend and people are like, how was your weekend? And on Monday, a lot of people, if you're and going back into the office, they're kind of cranky because everyone wants to eternally be on a weekend. So we're blessed if we're full-time health coaches. But it might be something like, oh, it was really nice. I tried this new recipe. We did lettuce wrap tacos. It was so cool. You know how I've lost 30 pounds, and we're just learning different lifestyle, and I don't want to ever gain it back. I feel so amazing. And that, And so you just kind of share a healthy recipe, or you share, yeah, we went for a hike, just a couple miles around the lake. It was cold and icy and it was really fun. We got some, hot tea afterwards. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited because a year ago, we would have totally not done that. We would have been on the couch watching movies all day, eating popcorn, drinking hot chocolate, and pigging out and feeling like yuck. And so you see how we're dropping parts about a healthy living, and that's really what people desire. And as Tiana said, and then just changing the subject, or if you can see somebody and you say, what is your goal for 2015, right? Well, as Megan's talked about, 99% of the people, it's going to be something about health, either exercise or eating differently or taking supplements or something. And you're able to say, oh, that's so awesome. I love that. I don't know if you know that, but that's my passion. I've made such big changes, or I'm actually help other people do the same. Way to go. I'm cheering for you. Did you know we're doing a health challenge? Would you like to hop on our challenge and just be with our group? You can use any program that you want. It's just it's about a group of us holding each other accountable to reach our goals over the next 6 weeks. It's amazing. Come be with us. Come and join our group, right? So just being comfortable with whatever, just life, because frankly, people are drawn to positive people and people moving forward. And that's what I really like about Take Shape for Life. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy balance. It's just awesome. And so we're moving forward, and people are drawn to people who are moving forward. They're drawn. It's intriguing. You kind of want to know more when somebody's positive and they're not the whiny negative people. You want to be, that's who you kind of want to go by. So that's kind of really where we want to talk about tonight, is being real, being comfortable with your words, and be comfortable, of course, with your story first. If that means practicing it in front of the mirror, if it means videoing yourself on your iPhone, don't be overcritical. Remember, people aren't really listening for the details. They're listening for your heart. And so don't be afraid to take a few deep breaths before you talk, 2 or 3 deep ones, because that settles your heart. It gives you better oxygen. Otherwise, you might be talking really high because you're nervous. Yeah, take a couple breaths, stop yourself, and hey, maybe you'll even want to put it on Facebook, because people love hearing your heart. Authenticity goes so far. We have a whole world where people are craving that. So I'd love for Megan and Sean to unmute themselves as well, and Tiana, if she can, but or anyone who has questions, because we want to be here to support you. As I said, we've probably done everything wrong once at least, or twice, and so there's no awkwardness in this group. We want you to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I've done everything wrong at least a couple dozen times. So I would really encourage everyone to, I just want to do a little Q&A session. We have some really new coaches on, and I'm wondering what you're thinking. And if you're thinking it, I want you to take yourself off of mute and ask the question, because I bet you someone else is thinking it too. So who has the first question? That's what I'm wondering.
Don't be shy.
I see Megan Rogg leaning in like she has something to say. Megan, do you have a question? Not now? Okay.
I do want to say something while someone unmute yourself and be ready to talk. But I've heard this said many times, and you'll hear it a lot more. Remember, when someone is ready to hear the message and they're seeking, they're not going to be as critical of you if you got every word right. They're hearing your heart. They're hearing that you care, and that you're going to walk alongside of them, and that you possibly went in the path ahead of them. That's what they're curious about. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then there's times when you will give the best, most perfect presentation or conversation, and it just goes flat. And you're like, oh, remember, it just means they're not ready yet, right? So we're already at different times. If I was a tire salesman and I had a tire shop and I was calling you and saying, hey, Megan, I just wanted to call you, we opened a tire shop, so when you need tires, would you just remember that we're here? And you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, not a problem. I don't need any now. Well, I could kind of get my feelings hurt. Like, oh, I didn't sell tires to her. Or she didn't need tires. So, but in a couple weeks, right, when we walk outside and I'm like, oh, they're a little low, or I get a nail in them, I'm going to go, oh, that's right, Megan called me and she's doing tires. And so it's as simple as if we could put ourselves with that kind of thinking on, we really are getting the word out.
Mm-hmm. And that, I think that's hard because it comes with time, that comfortableness with it not being the right time for them, but just hear our hearts and trust us, Megan and Paula and Sean and myself, that it gets easier and it gets more comfortable, because it gets more comfortable the more that you're able to speak the words and realize that some people are ready and some people aren't ready. And if you don't open your mouth because you're nervous about the people who aren't ready, the ones that are never going to get the story and never going to get healthy. So the more that you can share, the more bulletproof you're going to feel. So just keep speaking.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things Sean and I are doing with our new coaches that we're starting is just really encouraging them to, let's just go ahead and run for your first 5 clients. If that's what you want, because of course it's all about what our coaches want first. If that's what you want, because if it's what you want, let's get it done in a week rather than dragging it out, because you're going to get comfortable with the words, and then all of a sudden it's just something you're doing naturally and you're sharing that gift with people like you said you wanted to. And it's easy and fun.
Exactly.
Anybody else have any questions or thoughts? I know connection calls are sometimes something that's a little bit intimidating for people. I had a lot of questions about those when I first started. Did anybody have questions about connection calls and what it might look like for you?
You know, I think we should bump that one video, Megan, on our team page that kind of does connections calls, because I remember when I first heard it, I must have listened to it 10 times. I would hear it and I go, that's so easy. Okay, I'll make my calls. And then a couple of days later, I'd find myself getting kind of nervous. And then I would listen and I would go, oh, that's so easy. I can do that. And so some of those need repeated a lot. The other thing, if I could just reiterate, Ty alluded to it about the in the pocket. Keep a little tally of how many people you share with, because there are times when in our mind we've thought about sharing a lot, so we actually think we've shared a lot.
Yeah.
And we can be kind of hard on ourselves going, oh, everyone wants to get healthy. I've just been sharing and sharing. And if someone had to ask you how many you've actually had a conversation with, more than just one phrase here and there about, whatever, you might be surprised that it's probably not as many as you think it is. There is truly kind of a percentage number of 1 in 5 when you're first starting says yes. And it's not always exact. Sometimes it's 2 in 5, and sometimes it's 2 in 9. And there's no exact science, but it's pretty close. But it's all about sharing. Sharing.
Yeah, and if I could just add to that, Sean and I actually write down the names. So I'm not going to accidentally tally someone twice. I put down the people's names on a sheet of paper or now in my binder. But if you're a new coach, just write those names down in your planner and just see who are you touching.
Excellent. Well, I didn't see any chats come in. And Megan, did you have any parting words or?
No, just let's go get America healthy and reach out to your business coach. If any of this didn't make sense or anything that you want to just talk over, utilize us. We love, I can speak for Sean and I and Paula and Tyna. We love what we do. We love that we're able to be home and to do what we're passionate about. So reach out to us. We might have a baby on our hip, but we want to help our coaches get to where they want to be and, of course, assist many others. So with that, I'll say thank you so much for helping host this tonight, guys, and everyone have a beautiful day.
All right, good night.